Hey, so we are in Stowe Park, which is in Belmont. So Belmont is a little city just outside of Charlotte. It's about 15 miles west of Charlotte, and it's a hidden gem. It's not really hidden anymore. So I think I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour today. So the park here, Stowe Park, is like central to this little downtown area in Belmont, and a lot of activities, festivals, you name it, happen really throughout the year here. So it's a pretty active place. Right now, I think it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a work day, so it's not as busy as you would normally see it. But a lot of things do happen here. So Belmont population here is about 16,000 people, and so it's pretty small. So you have a really quaint feel to it. The downtown is a few blocks, a lot of historic parts. There's a historic district to Belmont here. It's a really tight knit community here in Belmont. Really friendly place, a little bit closer to some of the outdoor activities in the Charlotte region here. The cost of living is like 10% lower than the national average, whereas Charlotte is 2% lower than the national average. Of course, all that varies. There's a lot of new development, new construction. The median price right now here is about $530 or so. That fluctuates a decent amount. A lot of that has to do with the amount of new construction happening. And so when they're putting up new homes, those tend to be priced a little bit higher. It sits right on the Catawba River, which is awesome. So you're a lot closer to some of those water activities. You're about 25 minutes away from Crowder's Mountain. Oh, and fun fact, Belmont actually stands for Beautiful Mountain, which makes sense. Belmont, I guess. So now we're in the town of Belmont. There's also a neighborhood of Belmont in Charlotte, which is obviously a lot smaller. It's just a little tiny neighborhood next to Plaza Midwood right outside of Uptown. This is not that. This is the town of Belmont. So a lot of fun things to do here. Like I said, you're a little bit closer to some of these nature activities. There's the botanical garden. There's the Carolina Trail thread is really throughout the region, but it really connects pretty well. There's a Seven Oak Trail, which is right next to that botanical garden. And a few other greenways are kind of tapped into this region here as well. You have the White Water Center, which is an amazing place to go to. Fun day for you, the family, friends, and you're also right on the Catawba River. So the Catawba River connects all of the three lakes here. So technically, we're not on the lake in Belmont, we're on the river portion, the Catawba River portion of that body of water. And but really, beautiful, fun place to hang out and do things. You can rent boats or do anything you really want out there. So that's a big plus for a lot of people. And so it's really kind of like if you're looking for something that's like a little bit more of a small town feel, like Belmont's definitely going to be a place to consider. One of the other big benefits too is the high school ratings. The schools are ranked like 8s, 9s, and 10s here on gradeschool.org, and a lot of the other websites rank the school system here as like an A+. So we're in Gaston County, which is different from Mecklenburg County, where Charlotte is located. Kind of a hot topic with schools and everything, but that's a really big plus. They also have access to good private schools here if you'd like. In terms of some of the negatives, really a little winded there walking up the stairs. I would say probably access to some shopping. Like if you're looking for more of the corporate franchise, the Targets, things like that, you're gonna have to drive. You can actually drive to Gastonia, which is out further west, or you can go into Charlotte, which is 20 to 30 minutes roughly. And so those are gonna be options for you there, but it's a decent drive. So you're not gonna have that, accessibility. And also too, I'd say the other big deterrent, I don't want to say deterrent here because it sounds a little negative, but the commute times. So the commute times are going to really obviously play in and be a factor for everybody. So depending on the time of the day, if you need to get into Uptown or something, like it's always the challenge on all my videos. I'm referencing the challenge with commute times for everybody. So that's, it says 25 minutes if you go when there's no traffic, right? But if you have to go first thing in the morning or drive back at 5, it's gonna, it could take double that time frame. So it's really just comfort level. That's, what you're kind of willing to endure in terms of a commute. but it's a beautiful little town. I mean, there's they kind of keep a lot of the history here. They convert some of those older buildings. It was originally a textile town. They have, you know, converted a lot of those textile mills into, whether it's a restaurant or apartments, condos. You know, there's a good mix of properties here. So you have like those historic homes. They have homes or mill houses. They call them mill houses. You know, they were made during when textile mills were there. It's not like the houses were a working mill or anything. It was just, you know, smaller homes, 1,100 or so square feet, maybe one bathroom originally. So those are still available, and you can purchase those. The other thing is they have larger historic homes too, and they're quite expensive here in the downtown area. So you could also look to do something like that. They also have a lot of townhomes have been, you know, put up, as well as single family homes. So they have some good like master planned communities now, and that is, you know, it's going to be a really good option for a lot of people. So townhomes, the median price right now for a townhome in Belmont is about 350, and some of those are going to be really like on the water, like close to the water. Some of those communities have pools, so you can hang out at the pool and also have access to the Catawba River, you know, go kayaking and things like that. And then the single family homes, those median prices are going to be a little bit more, about 535. But there's a good mix. So they're going to, you know, have, you know, those master plan communities, newer homes, you know, built within the last 10, 15 years or so. You know, you can also do custom build properties here too. So, I mean, if you want a lakefront property, there's definitely options for you. I mean, lakefront, you're easily over $1 million. I know some of those communities are $2 million. The quality of life here, I would say, is pretty good. A lot of times in these conversations here, when we're talking about neighborhoods and what's going to work for you, a lot of it is distance. You know, all of the jobs, not all of them, most of the jobs are in Charlotte. You're gonna, you know, have to obviously figure out your situation, and that's going to be a big factor for everybody. Yeah, so we're gonna take a look around here. I'm gonna see what else I can show you. A few other parks here. You have Goat Island Park. So Belmont sits to the west of Charlotte. It's like 20 minutes to the airport. All right, so we're on the other side of Catawba River, and to the west of Belmont is Cramerton. So Cramerton is another small little town, which is really kind of a good, attractive place for people to live. Like lower crime rates, you know, relative to some areas in Charlotte. You have top-ranked schools, and it's just a really like small, quaint little, you know, town, you know, as well. So that Goat Island Park sits right in between Belmont and Cramerton, but that's a cool place. You can go hang out. There's a playground there. There's nature walk there. You can rent kayaks and go on the water. So a lot of fun things to do. I mentioned Crowder's Mountain. That's a fun place to hike. So, you know, a lot of the outdoor stuff you'll have pretty good access to. And if you keep going further west, like Belmont's west of Charlotte, but if you keep going further west, you'll go to Gastonia. And so Gastonia is a little bit more blue collar and more affordability there, has some good infrastructure. And so, you know, they keep talking about running the light rail out that way. Who knows if that'll actually happen. And so you have Wilkinson Boulevard kind of takes you out to Belmont here, you know, as well as 85. There's only a couple ways to get back into Charlotte, so that's the thing that impacts the traffic. All right, so a couple of other things to know about Belmont. There's Belmont Abbey College. It's a very small liberal arts school. There's like 1,600 students who attend there. Has really high rankings. It's been around for like 200 years, I believe. So it's right off the exit when you get here. So that's something, you know, just to kind of know about here. There's really not a lot of other universities. I mean, that's going to be like UNC Charlotte. As far as I know, that's the closest college here. But, you know, Belmont's going to bring a lot of like walkability. So if you like to be connected, like to have just a good time hanging out, walking around. I mean, there's only so many downtown spots in the Charlotte region. Like obviously, if you're living in South End, the prices are 3 times this, at least, probably more. And you can also go to other areas like you have Matthews, you have Huntersville. Those are the 2 that come to mind as like top on the list. And then, I mean, Belmont is like right there, basically. You know, even though the Belmont is in Gaston County and not Mecklenburg County, it's like not technically, I mean, it's a part of Charlotte, basically. I would consider that exactly the same. The taxes, the property taxes are a little higher in Gaston County, especially when you're in Belmont, within the city of Belmont, because the tax rate is like 1.06% right now, I believe, versus Mecklenburg, which is 0.76. So a little bit of a difference, but relatively, look, if you're coming from another part of the country, like forget about it because the taxes here are so much lower anyways. It's kind of a non-issue. I really think that at the end of the day, the biggest factor is going to be the commute. If you can work with the distance. It's not that far as most of Charlotte is. It can be a challenge. So you kind of need, I joke, you need like a helicopter almost to get, if you could just, you want a new business idea, put a bridge over the lake or river, or run a helicopter business shuttling people around. So that's my tip for the day. So, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video here, and I will see you on the next one here. All right, so here's your view from the townhomes. We're at Aberfoyle, which is a master planned community, which just means kind of, the city's involved, large development, somewhat large. There's apartments and townhomes here. 2 beds go for about $360, and 3 beds can go up to $425, $440 or so. But you have, look at that view at the Catawba. This is going to be really convenient too. You can hop right onto 85, head up just probably a mile up the road, and then you're right on 85, and then you can sit in traffic while you wait to get to Charlotte. From an overall proximity standpoint, it actually is really convenient. So the further east you can be in Belmont, probably the better, just because most of everything that you will be doing, whether it's work or shopping or just going out, is likely to be in Charlotte. There's plenty to do here in Belmont, by the way. So don't take that the wrong way. Belmont, we love you. There's definitely a lot of cool things happening here. So come check it out. There's lots of other neighborhoods too. And see you.